All right, joining us today on Pirate Radio Live, former ECU great Aundrae Allison to recap what went down and what's quickly coming up with the Thursday night game, Pirates and Army. Aundrae, how you doing on this Monday, man?
Man, I am doing great. I am doing great. We'd be doing better if we could have, got a little bit more from our run game, got some points up. But I'm doing great.
Yeah, bummer the other night because the stage was set for
Mhm.
a big evening at Dowdy Ficklin Stadium. Brought in some fireworks, brought in a flyover, and got the crowd hype. And unfortunately, BYU was able to suck the life kind of out of the stadium, and that's kind of their style, right, Andre? We talked about it: physical, kind of run, grind you, and then that set up the young quarterback Bear, who I was not impressed with early in the game, but hit some throws as the game went along, and BYU able to kind of just drain the life out of that stadium and get the win the other night.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we did show some good signs. Like, the passing game was still strong. But I feel like they definitely made us one dimensional. And just pretty much it was all passing and no ground game, really, no consistent ground game. But then, you have a few little, turnovers here or some muffs here. We never really got into a good like groove, so the rhythm was thrown off from the jump. And with bad rhythm and you're not really capitalizing on, that intro that we had, like you talked about, it's going to be really challenging to beat a team like that because they're so disciplined and they're
Yep.
just waiting for pretty much just to bend your wheel so you can just give in.
Man, Andre, the penalties, the pre snap penalties, just so
Mhm.
frustrating. And we see them from the offensive line. It happens, but three times, maybe on the same drive, ECU wide receivers jump for false starts. And I've been waiting to ask you about this since Saturday night. How does that happen once? How does it happen three times, Andre? What's the reason for that?
Just really not focused, honestly. I mean, I could see you anticipating and you feeling like really jittery about possibly getting the ball or getting an opportunity to make a play. But yeah, it's just focus. That's at the end of the day. That's all it's about. But yeah, it definitely can't happen like that, especially with your wideouts, because you really don't even have to listen to the count. You can just look right at the ball.
Terry McLaurin did it yesterday, so even the greats do it. But when it happens three times right like that, it's very frustrating. And for that to happen to the home team too, you can't really say it was crowd or anything. Andre just used the word focus, and
Nah.
that's what it is. Two big plays in that game. I think one is kind of easy to say. Caden Hauser near BYU's end zone just made a poor decision. It was second down. I was right in front of us. I went to the game, so it was BYU was kind of sitting back, and Caden could have ran for probably 2 yards or something, set up third and goal. Instead, tries to force it, nothing there, throws a pick, and it happens. Caden will tell you he shouldn't have done that. The other one, Andre, I want to get your take on is bad decision on the punt return or a bad play. I guess you got to fair catch that and keep it
Mhm.
out of your own red zone. Instead, it goes all the way down to the one. So you're set up at the one, and what do you do to get out of your own end zone when you're not able to run the ball? It makes it tough. Pirates go with a pass play, and it was a disaster. What did you see from that play, Andre?
I mean, you can kind of feel the momentum in games like that. It just felt like we wasn't all the way focused and locked in like cohesively. Because those are little, mundane things that you practice a lot. I'm sure, you do something like that 99 times out of 100, you can, get it right.
Yeah.
But yeah, to me, it just felt like a little bit more of an overwhelming moment for us. Like, it might have been too big. The stage might have been too big in a sense because we have some players. I mean, we've shown that, players can play on big time stages, especially like with the opening game with State. But yeah, I mean, that's all I can really think about because I'm not gonna look at it from no other angle outside of just as a athlete's perspective. Like, at the end of the day, mentally, you just got to be there. You got to be present and thinking about, putting forth your best performance and your best skills on each play. So that's what it looked like. They were just thinking too far ahead.
On the post game, I asked Holton Ahlers, "What do you call on that 1st and 10 from your own one?" And he said,
Mhm.
"Go ball." He said,
Yeah.
"All like BYU is daring you to make play for your guys to make plays 1-on-1. He said, "Go ball, throw it where it's either incomplete, your guy catches it, or a flag because there's no safety to help and go get a pick." So he says, "Go ball." They throw the what Holton called a hitch. To me, live, it looked like the receiver was running something different, or just the DB ran the route for the receiver basically and jumped it. So, what's your play call when you're backed up like that, like the Pirates were the other night, Andre?
I like that aggressive deep ball. I mean, because it kind of like takes a little bit of pressure off the offense, and it does like make the defense think like, oh wow, well, that's pretty bold. They could go right here. So it's just like one of those mind game type of tricks. But I feel like where the pick came is because BYU had pretty much already disrupted the rhythm of everything, and they were already kind of like ahead of our team as far as knowing that we probably was going to be a little conservative there. And then it's just one of those instinct things to where it looked like the timing of the route. It felt like the ball was late. And then yeah, they definitely wasn't on the same page. But I just feel like they didn't have any true threat to know or think that we would go over the top. So it's easy to just chill and just wait and just take a big chance like that. And he did. He broke on it.
Rough night for Anthony Smith. He's been so good. Had some big drops the other night, but I'm not going to crush him because he's been awesome, and I think he'll bounce back. And Yannick Smith had some big numbers, but could have been even more. He was running free on a lot of plays the other night, and Caden either would look at somebody else or pressure would not allow him to see it. And I just feel like there was opportunities for big plays, or at least take a chance. Had some big plays, Andre, and I don't know if it was nerves and spotlight, and you got to give credit to BYU. They are a really good defensive team, but felt like we left some points and certainly some yards out there the other night, Andre.
Absolutely. I mean, thinking about it like from a modern day athletes viewpoint, like I can honestly see how our players would probably be spending more time like doing things like social media or something, or like just incorporating too many outside distractions leading up to the game. It's a lot different from when I played. But I'm sure like whether it's like showing uniform or telling
Right.
people about you doing this or all of this, that's what it looks like to me. But yeah, you're right. It was a lot of plays left out there on the field. But if we could just kind of like minimize the outside distractions, I think that we got still a good season moving forward. We can still make it to a bowl game, as long as we get that run game a little bit more consistent, so we can have some balance and people can not just make us one dimensional.
Sounds like your word of the day, Andre, is focus.
Hmm. For sure. It
Focus.
is. It
There you
is. I
go.
mean, because
Yeah.
you play football for a living, like it's not like nothing really changed. Just you've been doing this for your whole life, so
Yeah.
you have a little, receivers false starting 3 times. That's definitely just you're just not locked in.
Andre had some great points on why receivers can get the diva label. I think it was the last time we talked to you. You said all the work you put in off season, practice, after practice, everything. And you said the play has to go exactly right from the O line protection to the quarterback seeing you to the quarterback giving you a ball you can catch, and even to get an opportunity to make a play. So you said it can get frustrating out there. And I want to bring up Malik Neighbors, who finally had a catch late in the fourth quarter last night.
Mhm.
Jamar Chase is without Joe Burrow. You got a lot of guys, Andre, who are not getting the opportunities they would usually get if they had competent quarterback play, good play call, and all that. And it's frustrating for you guys at times, right?
Yes, and another behind the scenes thing that people they're not really aware of is like when you don't have like your starting quarterback, like the offensive plays and the whole strategy of the game, it changes too. Um, you know, Coaches tend to get more conservative. They like making safe like play calls and things of that nature. And that's another thing like why receivers will get so frustrated is because we're aware of that kind of stuff. So we feel like the coach is being conservative with the play calls, like, pretty much making it seem as if like it's our fault while we're not getting open or someone isn't blocking. Where it's like, no, like you can still kind of be, aggressive and creative with the play calls. I mean, at the end of the day, it's like you're playing the league. The likelihood of you coaching this team forever anyway is very unlikely. Or it's unlikely for us to be here forever. So we
Right.
just like, puts a little bit more trust in us. Like, give that guy a shot, let him show. that he's capable of making the same plays that like say Joe Burrow could possibly make. Not at that level, but a lot of times it's the leadership having to believe in the next person up just as much as like the players on the team believe in those players.
Yeah, it shows the importance of a backup quarterback too. I try to bring that up every preseason. All right, who's got the best backup in the league and all that. But
Mhm.
yesterday, Marcus Mariota comes in. Commanders have over 400 yards of offense. So if you got a competent backup, you can still do some things you were doing before. But hey, there's only so many good quarterbacks to go around, Andre. And if you don't have one, you're definitely not going to have two. So a lot of these teams are missing out right now.
Oh yeah, for sure. And again, it's like with Mariota, advantages like with situations like that is because 9 times out of 10, teams aren't going to be prepared for a quarterback like that to play. You're like pretty much structured to stop like the main guy, right?
Right.
So you might get a big game like that, but once you put it on film in the pros, it's a wrap. Like
Yeah.
they're gonna hunker down on you. So to continuously do it, that's why to see players play at that high level for like a long period of time. If you really think about all the odds stacked against them, all the headwinds, because you're going to the game and you are number one priority is to stop that player, but they still have big games. It just goes to show like their greatness.
Man, just kind of a stock watch. Couple of guys we've talked about that I know you like, Andre. And we'll see Lamar and golf tonight. But Baker Mayfield, Justin Herbert, MVP talks are going up right now with the way they're playing and the way they're getting it done late in games. It's one thing to do it first, second, third quarter. But even yesterday, I put a bet in after the Jets took the lead because I knew Baker was going to move the ball down the field,
Mhm.
and Herbert did the same thing. So that separates guys too, right, Andre? What can you do in the fourth quarter?
Oh yeah, for sure. And it's like those guys have like a very like strong mental competitive edge. Baker is really fiery. So he's already coming into the game with a lot of slights, a lot of stuff that he's bringing, like
He was
being
mad
talked
at the
bad
damn
about.
Panthers coach 4 years ago. He
That's
said in the
that's
post game.
I know. So it's like, and as an athlete, you find the smallest thing to keep you dripping, right? So
Yeah,
I mean, but then like, he's playing with house money as well because he's loaded talent wise and they got great coaching. So, he's just pretty much like being himself and just embracing the opportunity. But with Herbert, I mean, they're also really, really loaded as well. And he's coming into his own. Only thing he has to do is really get past one of those other AFC quarterbacks late in the playoffs to
yeah.
really like put his stake in the ground.
Andre, we'll end it with some ECU talk. Two ways you can go here. You can say, all right, we got a short week. That's good. We can flush this loss and move on, get ready for the next one, and go out and win it. Or, man, we just got beat. We got another one coming up. Like the old, don't let the same team beat you twice and all that. So, how can the Pirates use this short week as a positive, Andre, getting ready for Thursday night?
Yeah, for sure. Because it's a lot of those like self-inflicted wounds, so it's something to be optimistic about. You can like fine tune that up. You just put that pressure on yourself, like, yeah, we got to tighten that up. We better than that, et cetera, et cetera. And then just be honest with yourself. Have those real strong, honest conversations about why the focus wasn't there, and just moving forward, just like take a different approach to pregame and the practice week leading up to the game, and everything should go in our favor.
All right, and I will let you know. I picked the Bengals to beat the Vikings this week, Andre. So
Oh my
yeah,
goodness.
48-10. Maybe
Oh, come on.
you know what? It was a pick against Carson Wentz. I don't like Carson Wentz. So
That makes sense. Yeah, I can see you having some bad blood with
all
him.
right, man. Hey, enjoyed it, Andre. Appreciate your insight as always. Love talking football with you, man. We'll do it again next week.
Absolutely. I'll talk to you soon, Cook.